From the misty Pacific coast to the rugged Cascade Mountains and beyond to the high desert in the east, you are listening to the Oregon First Hunting and Fishing Podcast.
All right, thank you so much for tuning in. We're glad that you decided to listen to our podcast today. My name is Bryant. I'm your host. I'm joined with my co-host, Gage.
Hello.
Here in our Salem studio with real microphones. A lot of times recently, we've been recording out and about, and the audio is just not the same.
Oh,
you know,
so to get good quality audio when you're on the Willamette.
But all three of us are here. We're joined with our guest Tyson Healon, and Tyson does it all, just like us. We're cut from the same cloth. You know, hunting, fishing, shed hunting, big time. Yep. Especially with your Blackhorn Outdoors page is a lot about shed hunting.
Oh yeah.
And so you hit it hard, which is cool. I'm excited to try to glean from you a little bit, but not that I'm itching to get into shed hunting. So don't think that you're training a competitor or something, but I'm just curious about the world of shed hunting.
Man, it's just not like that when it comes to shed hunting, especially on the coast. Like, I honestly don't pay attention to boot tracks at all in any spots. Yeah, because it's the coast, man. Like, there's one little nook and cranny and you'll miss it. Like, it's not like over on the east side where you're looking at these big, wide open expanses where, like, someone's walked up to this glassing point, or there's a good chance that he's glassed up whatever I'm trying to see. But on the coast, dude, you can miss him by 10, 15 yards and never find him. So
I mean, that's also true for the sheds that are still attached to a deer's head. Absolutely. They're sneaky out there.
Yep. I've watched guys walk into a patch of timber that I saw a herd of elk walk into, and they walk out of it like never seen anything, and then I watch those elk walk out the same path that guy just came down. Like, it's happened, man. These elk and deer both. I mean, I know I'll walk right past deer every day.
Oh yeah, so that's how they stay alive.
They're good at it. That's for sure.
Gage, you want to give it a try this time?
Sure, with the announcements?
Yeah, the call to action. Yeah, the announcement.
Yes. Well,
remember, don't just read it. You've done this before.
I know. Yeah. Bullet points. Well, remember to follow us to stay up to date on all of our updates and coming events here at the Salem First Hunting and Fishing Club. Share the show with a person. Share with your buddies who are also into hunting. Love to get more people in the community come out to our events. They're always fun. Get to meet some new people. And also give us feedback. We love to hear if we're saying anything wrong or if we are missing somebody in our community that we'd love to talk to. You guys would like to hear to talk to. So reach out to us, follow us, share us. Love to hear from you.
Next event.
Next event is the Northwest Mountain Challenge, July 11th through 13th. Bryant and I, along with Jericho, will also be there. So I'll only be there for a day. Bryant will be there all 3 days. So love to see you guys out there, see how you guys stack up to the competition. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there. So, and the big announcement for us at the Mountain Challenge is going to be we're going to be raffling off a release. So it's going to be a Scott Ghost release. We were taking a look at it, and it's pretty sweet.
I mean, the thing about releases is people, they're particular about what they want. So, hopefully the raffle's still fun. We'll see.
We'll see.
But it's a good release.
Even then, it's always fun to tinker around with something new. See if you like it, see if you don't.
You could love it. It could change your whole shooting. It's a good release. It's a
hinge style release, I think.
Yeah, but it's still a wrist release though.
But it's not handheld.
But so if you tell us the name of our last guest, which is Tyson, then we're gonna put you on double. That's how we're gonna know the listeners versus the new people. So if you tell us the name of Tyson, just say, "Oh, I listened to your show, like Tyson's episode." I don't know, however you want to say it. We'll give you a double entry for that release.
Yes.
Try to do some fan service there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, in this episode, we're gonna talk about the Oregon Sports Pack Slam, Western Oregon outdoorsmanship, and have a conversation with our guest, Tyson Healon.
Yes, sir.
I first learned about you, Tyson, when, as I was just saying, I saw 2020, you got this epic, giant 3-point blacktail here on the west side. Very local to where I have always hunted, you know? And so I was immediately interested. One thing that I was suspicious of at the time, even when you posted that, as I was thinking, I bet you we hunt the same spots.
Yeah.
And so I just had to like add you on Facebook. I didn't even know about your Blackhorn Outdoors or anything like that. And, you know, as I have become aware of your social media stuff too, I've seen you've taken lots of great elk.
Oh, yeah.
You know, bow hunting, elk, and recently started turkey hunting.
Yep.
But that's kind of how we really got to know each other over the last couple months is, you know, I got a message from you.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
I think I know what turkeys you're looking at there, man.
I think
really,
I might know that road you're on.
Yeah.
And so
I don't want to get too specific.
You took a guess. I mean, you were bolder than me because when I saw you with that big buck, I kind of wanted to ask the same question.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just not something you normally do. So, but I'm glad that you called me out on the turkey spot.
Yeah.
I wasn't even trying to like post very clear landmarks. You saw a power line, dare I say.
Yeah.
And you knew where it was.
I'm not, look, I'm not the guy who's going to like go in and find someone's spot off of their Facebook and like go check it out. But I see a lot of animals, man. Like I look over a lot of elk, a lot of deer every year, shed hunting. I see a lot of different animals, a lot of different horn configurations, and I recognize a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just, I've found a lot of people that hunt the same area or shed hunt the same area just simply by like seeing a picture and go, man, I recognize that horn.
Yep.
Like, and it's honestly kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's been another thing that's hard for me because I do the podcast video versions where it's just random B-roll. I'll have my GoPro on while I'm hiking through the woods or something, you know?
Yep.
And I just know that there's plenty of guys watching that who know right where that is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very careful. Like if there's a road marker of any kind or even a mileage marker or anything like that, I'm cutting that out.
Yep.
But, you know, it's just unavoidable at some degree.
Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie. I've paid attention.
Yeah.
I've never been able to
you're
pinpoint it. I'm like, yeah, that timber looks familiar, but I don't know.
Yeah. That's the other good part of it, though. Like what you were saying about looking for sheds is you may know the road I'm on.
Yeah.
But I don't. It might
just
be hard to find some of the little holes I'm crawling into.
Yeah, it does not really matter on the coast, man. Like not near as much as everybody thinks. Like I protect my spots, obviously, to an extent. I'm not going to go showing off a clear cut where, you know, I think has high potential for whatever. But at the same time, even if you knew that clear cut, it doesn't necessarily matter. You know, there's a lot of things that go into this.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't matter.
And then on the other hand of that, sometimes when I find out where someone's hunting, I kind of want to go there less.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's all
too.
hunted out, you know? So
Yeah,
it's kind of a give and take there.
Yeah.
And until you see them posting some, you know, giant thing and you're like, there's good stuff in there. But
well, I mean, it's kind of like that great big buck that I shot. I had never seen another person back there. I had never seen a boot track. I shot that buck and I had a trail camera set up back there and I left it through November and there was so many people that were back there.
Was I on it?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, all right.
The guys that were mainly on it were guys that were late muzzleloader hunting.
Cool. Yeah.
Like, they were hitting it hard, man. And they were, I don't think they ever got the deer. Like I had another big deer on that camera, not quite as big, but another big buck.
Yeah.
And they never got him. I kept getting pictures of him through shed season and stuff, but
nice. You ever find a sheds?
No, that spot is really tough for sheds.
Yeah. Well, you really learned the animal shed hunting. We'll talk more about shed hunting in a minute. Yeah. All right. You ready for some icebreakers?
Yes, sir.
All right, Gage, why don't you hit him?
Alrighty. So first question, fishing or hunting?
Hunting, absolutely.
Okay. Bow or rifle?
Definitely an archery guy. I would archery hunt blacktail in a heartbeat if the season was better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the late season blacktail now, because of how late rifle season goes.
Yeah.
You're shooting yourself in the foot by not hunting rifle season. Even if you wanted to hunt it with a bow, which I've really debated on doing this year. I probably won't do it.
No, you'll stick with the rifle.
Yeah. It's just deer hunting is so tough, man. Like in my opinion, it's way harder than elk hunting. Like elk hunting is very physically demanding, but deer, man, they will test your will. These blacktail, like this year I had more encounters with like good bucks than I think I ever have, but usually the first buck I get a chance at, like, good buck. I pass a lot of forking horns, but the first good buck I get a chance at, he's going to hit the ground. And this year
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
I had 4 that got away from me or 3 that got away from me before I finally was able to knock one down. So
yeah.
And I've done the late season archery grind. It's tough. I've had some success, but I got one good one, and I was like, all right, that's probably good for now.
Yeah,
I'll go back to
Yeah.
rifle season.
Yeah, I've done pretty much only rifle for deer.
Yeah.
And then this last year, due to scheduling, I got the archery tag, and I was lucky enough to get a buck opening day, but it was the sick buck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's him right there with his antlers that popped off when I grabbed him. But
that's so cool.
But I figured, hey, first archery buck, I'm gonna shoot the first forky I see, and it was opening day.
Yep.
And then here we are with all that. But anyway.
Well, and not to toot your horn for you, but it was off a boat too.
Yeah, a little drift boat. Yeah, that was fun.
Cool.
And then
it's impressive, honestly. Shooting a buck with a bow is not easy.
yeah.
You see videos of guys sitting up in tree stands and smoking these big bucks, and it's like, dude, you don't understand.
Yeah.
It looks easy. It's not.
No, definitely.
All right, next question: big blacktail shed or big elk shed?
Okay, so I'm gonna preface this a little bit.
Okay.
So I will take a big blacktail shed over a big, and it depends on the size too.
Yeah.
But like a big blacktail shed over a big rocky shed, because I've been going over for Rockies for a long time. From the point that I actually started and did really well, you find big ones. Like there's just big ones over there. Now, I will take a 320 inch approximately Roosevelt shed over a 340 Rocky shed any day. Like not even comparison. They're so hard to find.
Yeah.
I mean, I put more time in the woods looking for elk sheds than anything, and I've never found one over I found one on the cusp of being 300. I found a really nice set, but that's it, man. And
well, I mean, that's like the epitome lifetime Roosevelt is once you hit that 300. Like that's rare, and a lot of hunters will never kill a 300
I remember
Roosevelt.
when I was young, before I really got into shed hunting, which is a huge game changer. Like, to go off track a little bit, it is a huge game changer of really learning these animals, where they're living, the type of stuff these big bulls want to be in. When you really start to dial in shed hunting, it just opens your mind up to the possibilities of what's really out there. But before I really started shed hunting, a 280 bull was the biggest bull I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
My dad actually killed the biggest bull up to that point that I'd ever seen. And it was a bull that we hunted for like 2 or 3 years. We hunted him for 3 years. We had trail cam pictures of him for 2. And then we finally killed him on the 3rd year out of blind luck. And we've yet to kill another one like him. Like, he always had a big herd, was always distracted. And my dad, we both were coming in on this herd from opposite ends.
Yeah.
He just happened to pick the right end of the herd, and the big bull was off of the herd probably 50, 60 yards, raking a tree, and walked out in front of him 20 yards broadside. And he smoked him.
I love that. I love it.
What a dream. Like an hour later, that same herd, so they bumped out of that clear cut and went into the reprod. I was like, we found his bull. Obviously, we're pretty elated. Went back up the road to go get my pack, and as I get to my pack, I look up and there's a cow standing there.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh my god, they're right here.
Yeah.
So I dropped back down to the ground. They ended up spooking and literally went in a circle right back to the exact clear cut they just were. I walked back out there and was able to get a shot at a spike.
Sweet.
Spike by fork, and I ended up killing my first elk with a bow.
That's awesome.
Day. It was
2 in one day. Dude, I love
day.
that.
Oh, that's so cool.
They ended up dying probably 50 yards apart.
Oh my goodness.
It was just like,
what a day.
The most insane day of elk hunting.
Yeah, you could like see each other while you're cutting them up and stuff.
He was inside the reprod, so I couldn't actually see him, but like I could hear him. I knew exactly where he was and everything.
Man, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it made for a really long night though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took the day off work after that, I'm sure.
Oh, I was still in high school.
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah.
I was going to ask, you're probably still in high school.
Yep. Yeah, I think I was 16 or 15 at that time or something
dude,
like that.
Dude, that's so cool. Man,
high
I don't
schoolers
know
can
if
say
it's
that.
a Roosevelt thing, but yeah, they circle themselves after they spook so much.
Yeah,
you know?
and especially when they're really wound up, like that herd had 4 branch bulls in it, and of those 4, 3 of them were big. Like,
Yeah.
the one my dad killed was the biggest, and then there was a giant 5x5 and another big 5x6, and they were just worked up, man.
Yeah.
They were bugling on their own, and every once in a while, you'll come into those situations where it's just like it's opening weekend, and they're screaming, going crazy, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Every once in a while, you're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, because it's like, why is it not like this all the time? This is like
Yeah.
New Mexico or something going on right now. And like, the rest of the year, I might only hear one more bugle. Like,
honestly, if
today
you,
I might hear
or they'll
20.
just come in quiet. Yeah. All right, we're getting off track here.
Yeah, sorry. Fourth question, turkey or ducks?
Okay, so to eat, turkeys. But hunting-wise, I really enjoy hunting ducks. Ducks is a lot of fun. But I think if I was to only be able to do one or the other, I would choose turkeys because I like eating them a lot more.
Yeah.
Ducks are good, not great.
Sure.
Fifth question is the same. So,
Oh, whoops. Never mind.
so now it's what's up in the outdoors.
Yeah, we'll continue on. So, I mean, we're gonna be calling this part of the show that Outdoors Rewind. I got a message from Tyson this morning that you had some good luck on hitting the springers.
Yeah. I had a little bit of time. It was like 2:00 when we were scheduled to meet up. So I went out this morning trying to find some springers and was able to get one. So
Yeah.
it was a good day. Yeah. Nice. It was like, it wasn't big or nothing. It was like a 8 to 10 pound springer, but he was chrome, good looking fish, cut great. So
Man.
good fuel for the Elk Mountains here in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Sir.
Do you jerky them then or something?
No, so my wife doesn't eat fish. The kids, like, they'll maybe eat it. I mean, it depends on the day if they like it or not.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just me eating it. So I'll portion it out for like each night. But,
Nice.
I try to eat well, especially leading up into elk season because I just feel better. So I'll like make them pasta or something like that. And then I'll just have a piece of salmon with a little bit of pasta.
No, that's great, dude. Nice. You get the whole fish to yourself. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to worry about sharing
That's
it or
great.
nothing until 4th of July barbecue. But it's different.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of fishing too. Had some boat trouble, so I really kind of feel like we missed the hard push for springers. But I've been hearing that this last couple of weeks, people have been doing pretty well. So there's still a chance. But one thing that I did with Jericho is we tried our hand at the pike minnow, the paid thing, and didn't go too well for us. We caught after 13 hours of fishing, we caught 0. We caught plenty of other kinds of fish.
Yeah.
And then the funniest part is the next day, Gage and I took some people from our church out fishing, and he caught a pike minnow in a little reservoir.
Just trying to catch stalkers.
Perfect.
And
they're just trying to catch those stalked rainbow trout.
Well, did you turn it in?
No, unfortunately, they have to be caught on the Columbia. Otherwise,
yes.
totally would have.
Okay.
But so that was an adventure.
Yeah.
Like,
So funny. At first, I thought it was a catfish. I was like, what the heck?
yeah, because you've never seen a pike minnow before.
No, I've never reeled in a pike minnow. And I reeled in, and you're like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
It's a stinking pike minnow.
I got
crazy.
so many of them growing up on the Yamhill River, smallmouth fishing.
Yep.
Caught so many of those things, and I just thought it was going to be go up there, cash cow, catch 50 of them a night. And I mean, there's guys that are doing it, but it wasn't me. We're gonna make another attempt, but our side gig might not be paying off, unfortunately. We'll see.
Might need to get in the shed, start selling them.
I mean, that's the other thing. There's other ways, but it would have been a good summer side job, but not quite.
And it's fun too. I mean, at least you're getting out there giving it a shot. It's good for the river anyway. So if you can get out there and get some of them killed, it'll help our salmon.
Yeah, and not to mention, I mean, like we said, salmon, whatever, pike minnow, but I mean, bass fishing's pretty hot right now too. Yeah. I don't know, you done much bass fishing?
I used to do a lot of it when I was a kid down at the pond down there. It's kind of, I'm blowing names out right now, but I don't really
I'll believe it. I know what pond you're talking about.
This piece of water that I'm talking about has some giant bass in it, and I used to fish for them every summer. I'd go down there and try to catch them on their beds because that was about the only time you could get them. And I did catch one really big one out of there, and the rest of them I just hooked them, lost them.
Oh yeah.
There was so many weeds at this pond. You'd literally hook them, and if you didn't have braid to just get them out of the stuff, you weren't getting them, and they would bury themselves in the weeds and just break you off.
That was the only place growing up that I ever caught largemouth, but I used to catch a bunch of stock trout out there too. Yeah. As long as you can get away from the weeds. Yep. But there's plenty of little ponds around the valley that has so much fun. Oh yeah. Bass fishing. Yeah. The problem with that pond and a few of the other smaller ones is for some reason the fish got a bunch of worms in the meat. I never ate the bass, but I would keep the panfish, bluegill and stuff. Yeah. And I'd always have to squeeze a bunch of worms out of the meat. Oh, wow. It kind of makes it, you definitely don't tell the wife about that part.
I never ate them out of there. Like, even the stalkers, I just give them to my grandpa because he likes to smoke them. He's like, you want some of this? No, that's all right, man. Yeah. I just got it for you.
Oh, really? Wow, yeah.
I don't like those things very much.
Oh, man, I don't know. Barbecue them. These ones that Gage and I just got this weekend, we smoked them. Yeah. And one of them was a good size. Actually, a guy gave it to us.
Must have been a broody.
We got the little, what they call legals, Yep. But then there was one that I hate the names they use, but they used the name trophy. Size, yeah. But we're actually able to fillet that one and smoke it, and it smoked up kind of red. Like I was surprised it was good,
Yeah.
And so
well, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna try it. But,
yeah.
But that's good, dude. Like, I'm a little spoiled with my springers.
Oh yeah. I feel like once you go that way, I mean, can't go wrong. That's how I feel about like the stripers too. Like it's a long drive for us, but I just love striper fishing so much.
Yeah, so cool.
It's so great. Anyway, but enough about fishing. That's going on right now. It's summertime. But the other thing we wanted to bring up is that if you were planning on bow hunting this fall and you do not already own a bow, you missed your chance. It's too late. You got it. You'll be bow hunting maybe next year, but you got to be shooting that thing already every day, like since, I don't know, even March, realistically. And that it makes it even harder when you live in town because that means you got to drive somewhere to shoot. But really, like just a reality check, because I've talked to some people recently. It's like if you wanted to be bow hunting this year, you should have already had your bow. And you should have already been practicing.
Yeah, look, you got to be doing something. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go say there isn't some little niche of a person who could be shooting 200 arrows a day from right now all the way until season. And you'd probably be somewhat proficient. However, the commitment that this takes, in my mind, if you haven't been shooting your bow for months, you've missed your opportunity. I understand everybody's busy. Like, dude, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, drive to work. I'm there until 4 o'clock, and then I drive home, and I'm home by usually 5:36, and I still shoot every single night. Like, I'm always trying to get better. Like, you have to have that level of commitment. You owe it to these animals. Like, you really do. There's no better way to say it than you owe it to that animal to be the very best you can be in executing a merciful kill shot. Yeah. Like, that's it. Yeah. There's no better way to put it. And I'll take long shots. Like, I'm not opposed to taking it. I mean, this bull I killed last year, I shot him at 70 yards and I hit within, like, I had probably a 6 to 8 inch window by, a foot to hit my mark, and it was a perfect kill shot, and that bull only went 30 yards. Yeah. Before he just piled up. And I also shot him 3 times, even though I didn't need to, but like he's still standing, so I'm going to keep sending them. And by the end of it, like I shot him on the second one and he just ate it and stood there. So I walked up to 30 yards and shot him again, and he was falling over as I put the third one in. Yeah. Like, 2 things that are like absolutely cannot skip on. You need to make the best shot you can. I mean, things happen, I get it. But if you're not prepared for that shot, I got no remorse for you, dude. Like, I'm gonna let you have it. But also, you better get all that meat. You owe everything to that animal. They gave up their life for you. You better do your best. Yeah. So, Sorry, I got a little deep there, but
no. And none of us are trying to sound like holier than thou or anything. Yeah, no. It's just the reality of the amount of time it takes to learn to shoot a bow proficiently, and then apply it to like my hardest lesson my first year that I archery hunted was the uphill versus downhill shot. You know, what you allow. Like I learned, you know, you really need to have your bow locked down. Like for me, my peep slid, and I put a Sharpie mark and I'd slide it back before I shot. But what do you think happened when there's an elk trudging toward me? Yeah, exactly. It's the last thing you think. Like, you know, little things like that I learned. Yeah, you can't really put up with it. Yeah. But even just the skill level, you know, I had told myself my first season I'm not going to shoot over 30 yards. You know. And that was after shooting every day from when I got the bow in February to season came in September, you know. Now I've been shooting my bow longer, so I'm more comfortable, willing to take further shots. But, you know, there's certain limitations you put on yourself that are, you just got to start somewhere. So go ahead and get your bow now and shoot it a bunch. But, you know.
You'll be ready by next year, man. Like, you'll be there. Just shoot it a lot. You'll be there. Yeah. But not this year. Like, you owe it to that animal. Do the right thing.
So pick up the rifle.
Yeah. I mean, look, you can trigger punch on a rifle you want. It'll probably work out. Like,
yep, exactly.
I've never had, especially on the coast, because you're only shooting 50 yards usually anyway. So
yeah, and like for me, I just got my bow in December this year. So like what Brian just said, my limit is maybe 40. Yeah. Like I'm still kind of practicing out to that distance. So like I think that was great advice that you were telling me when I first got my bow and me talking about getting into it. But another thing, I think this can also deter future hunters is if they, you know, get a bow, maybe they've never been hunting before, period. They go out for these seasons and they're like, holy crap, this is tough. I can't get animals. Like I see an animal 300 yards away and I get to 250 and they're spooked. Like, you know, that woodsmanship that, you know, you're mentioning. So important to develop. And I think the best is rifle hunting.
I mean, like, even further past that, the woodsmanship, just being in the woods. Like, you don't even have to be hunting. Like, just, if you see a herd of elk and you are planning on hunting, go stalk them. Like, pick one, especially because you think about it, you're going to be picking out the bull in the herd, right? Like, it might not be the herd bull, like maybe there's a spike or something. It's your first year, you want to go kill that bull. That's fine. But pick one animal in the herd when you're practicing on stalking these animals and stalk to that animal. Don't, like, it's great if you can get into a herd of 30 elk, like you can get within, you know, 50 yards of whatever elk. But if that bull is on the other side of that herd, now you're looking at 100 yards, you know, and that doesn't do anything for you. But I mean, the woodsmanship is definitely the most important thing as far as like getting in on these animals, just working the wind, knowing what sounds are going to alert them and what they look like when they're alerted, you know. Everything about it is just so important.
Takes time.
One thing I did this year, turkey hunting, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go shoot my bow at a turkey because not the first animal I don't want to draw back on is you know, this big 5x5 elk.
Yeah.
Right. I'd rather have it be this Tom.
The one that you're going to kill this year, right?
Yeah, the one that will kill this year. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, great advice.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to hunt turkeys with a bow this year for exactly what you're saying, you know, because the earlier you can start working out, you can never actually replicate the moment when you're trying to put a good shot on an animal. Like, you cannot replicate it. But if you can do those moments over and over again, that's just better. So if you bow hunt everything, obviously that works out. But I couldn't do that this year because I was hunting on private property with a lot of houses around for the most part. So could not shoot with a bow.
Yeah.
Most spots.
So all in all, it's time to start shooting your bow. And whether you're hunting this fall or not, you know, get that bow out, or hopefully you've already had it out for quite a while. I wanted to quickly touch on the Oregon Sports Pack Slam. So we have that. We announced it last episode, and if you want to find out more specifically about what that is and how to apply for it, then go to our social medias, either Instagram or Facebook, and we have pinned posts that tell you all about it. But essentially, we want to create a little bit of a record-keeping system, award system for people who successfully fill the 5 big game tags in Oregon from the sports pack. So that's turkey, cougar, bear, deer, and elk. And so, you know, we just want to recognize that it's a hard feat. It's all for fun, you know, and congratulations to anyone who goes out there and even pursues those animals, or, however many tags you fill or don't fill. It's all fun. It's all an important part of our lives and who we are and what we do. But we just thought, well, we have turkey slams and we have all these other slams that are, recognized North American duck and all these things. I'm like, well, let's do the Oregon Sports Pack Slam. We're Oregon First Hunting and Fishing. So anyway, if you know someone who is doing that, or if you yourself, you can apply. We have an application set up that is live. For this first time around, we're just going to recognize 2025 and on. And then as we learn about the interest, maybe we'll backdate some for the past. But, for now, just 2025 and on. So if you filled your spring turkey, you're ahead of the game. Cougar, you really should have been hitting it, but now is a good time. Get out there, and then spring bears behind us, but fall bears coming up. So, lots of opportunities to still make it happen. And if you didn't kill your turkey this year, we do have fall turkey. That's all I'll say about that. Go to our social medias if you're more interested. Let's talk a little bit about something that's really important. A look at our news. You can't avoid it. If somehow you live under a rock and you don't already know about this, then breaking news to you. But there's some senators from states away in Utah who are trying to sell off millions of acres of public land. Now, the reason why I don't want to spend too much time on this is because it's evolving so fast every day and changing. But where we were at was 3 million acres. A lot of those in Oregon. If you looked at the map, that was for sale. It was Forest Service land and BLM land. Hunters wrote in to their senators. They called, they emailed, so many different, and if you didn't do that, I encourage you to still do that, because the most recent iteration of the plan lowered the amount sold from 3 million down to 1.2 million acres, which is still, and then you look at what that still includes. It changed it to where it's only BLM land, but you look at what that includes, and it's still most of my hunting spots and most of your hunting spots. Anyone who's listening, like this is our heritage as American citizens. It is our birthright, I've heard it called, and I fully agree with that. Like, they're trying to sell off these public lands that we can go access anytime without asking permission, and they're trying to turn it into private hands. Now, what happens when land goes private? No camping, no trapping, no hound hunting, no campfires. The gates go up. A lot of them, pay to play. A lot of them, even no access whatsoever. The intention here is to turn it into housing, but a point I heard brought up recently that's just genius is, unless there's a language in the plan to turn these big expanses of BLM they're trying to sell into half-acre parcels, it's not going to help housing, because BlackRock's going to buy it, and then they're going to turn it into, these homes up in the mountains. Who's going to be able to afford that? And another thing of this bill that's not really talked about too much is it's has the mask of a budget reconciliation bill, but included in the bill is cuts for mining. And so the royalties that are being cut for mining on BLM land would lose the American economy dollars. So we sell this land for how much? Who knows? I haven't done the math. But then we lose out on our mining royalties. It doesn't make sense. It's very thinly veiled way for this senator, I don't even want to say his name, but to earn money for his donors. Hey guys, I have an update on this. We recorded on Friday when we had this conversation, and then Saturday the Senate got together to vote on the bill, which was a big budget bill that included the sale of our public lands. And we learned late Saturday that they were forced to remove the public land sales completely from the budget bill in order to push it through. And that's because of the voices of hundreds of thousands of hunters, fishermen, outdoorsmen, hikers, bikers, everyone coming together, making a huge ruckus, calling their Congress members, calling their senators, calling anyone who represents them that they could, and telling them that they needed to remove the sale of our public lands from this bill. And so good job to everyone who spoke up, everyone who sent in an email, did whatever you had to do. Unfortunately, the fight's not completely over, because there's still talk of future plans to sell public lands. But for right now, this big issue that was blaring us in the face. We killed it. We got it done, taken care of. Maybe send a thank you to your senator and say thank you for upholding our desire as the people of the United States of America and keeping our vitally important public lands. So keep yourself in the loop, pay attention to what's going on locally and nationally, because unfortunately these days you can't just be the silent majority. The silent majority doesn't mean as much when these lawmakers are making decisions that greatly affect our lives, and we don't normally have a say in it. We have to give ourselves the say like we did by reaching out, calling in, sending emails. So thank you again for doing that. Let's stay vocal. Let's keep on the alert. Listen to the watchdogs who are there paying attention to what's going on, and we'll try to keep our rights as hunters and fishermen and outdoorsmen as long as we possibly can, preserve them for our children. So thank you. Let's get into our conversation with Tyson Healon. All right, Tyson, we always start off with this question when we come to this part of the show. Share your favorite hunting or fishing story or outdoor experience.
Probably my favorite hunting story. I definitely have a lot of them, but probably my favorite one is an animal I didn't even kill. So my brother was in the military. He came back home 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Wow.
And he was able to harvest his first elk with a bow. Wow. When that happened, we had been in contact all day. I was at work, of course, and he had told me, you know, where he was going. He had someone tell him that the herd crossed the road behind him while he's parked at a gate, right? So some guy pulled up on him and was like, "Hey, that herd just crossed the road right behind you if you're going hunting." And he
so a non-hunter told him that.
Yeah, this is a guy in
that's when you know you can trust it.
Yeah.
Because if it was a guy holding a bow in his hand.
That's what I told him. He called me, he's like, "What do I do?" I'm like, "You follow that tip."
Yeah.
Like a guy in a FedEx truck just told you that. What does he have to lose by lying to you? Like, just go. But he ended up hunting where he was going anyway. He didn't find the elk, obviously. And then he turned around and left, went to the other spot because I told him exactly where to go. Yeah. And he went back there. He couldn't find him. It was pouring down rain. So he left and he called me. He's like, "Man, I just don't know what to do." I'm like, "Turn around, go back. They're going to be there, man. Like, they are there. There's nowhere else for him to go." Anyway,
this is like the middle of September.
It's towards the end. I think if I remember right, it was the last weekend. So it was right up to the end. He had a lot of close calls, some heartbreak, but it was honestly perfect. Like in my mind, if you can have the perfect season, it's going to be like so many ups and downs, and then you're just going to be able to just scratch it out and get it done. Like, that's my favorite. But anyway, so he went home, got changed, went back to the gate, walked out there, and right where I didn't tell him exactly where they're going to be, but I'm like, they're probably going to be somewhere in this clear cut. He walked out there, and there they were. He ended up making a good shot on a spike.
Oh, man. Was he able to call it in or sneak in? Or
he snuck in. Yeah, it was spot and stock. So he was able to sneak down and get a shot.
That's hard to do, man.
Yeah, he made a good, I think it was a 50-yard shot.
That's where the rain does help, because when you're calling, the rain kind of sucks. But when you're sneaking, that's great.
Yeah, it's perfect. But he hit him middle of the body, but it caught lung. He explained it to me where he hit it. So anyway, I was home at that point. He called me, said he stuck one. And I'm like, "Okay, I'm coming, man." So I was able to actually convince my wife to let me take my daughter.
That's
6
cool.
o'clock.
And how old's your daughter at that point?
At that point, let's see, she's turning 4 this year, so she'd have been 2.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's cool. So cool pictures, I hope.
Yeah, we got some cool pictures. But so we bomb back there, me and her. I carry her all the way back, like a mile back or so. And then I've got some really cool, my dad was there too, and I've got some cool pictures of us tracking blood, and like I'm bent over pointing at the ground, and so is my brother, and my daughter, she's back with grandpa, and she's copying me. She's picking up random leaves and showing them to grandpa like she's tracking blood. And then so we ended up tracking this bull for a lot longer than both of us thought we should, because I I was on the blood and I was like, look, dude, this is lung blood. Like, or at the very least, like it's aerated, bright red blood. This is kill shot blood. Okay?
Did you say it wasn't raining by then?
It was not raining at that point. Yeah. No.
That's good.
So we continued down. It hit the timber, and he was going downhill the entire time, which was a good sign. But just a lot longer than I thought he was going to. So we're about 200 yards into this track job, and come into this creek bottom. We actually find his arrow. And we had been following like really light blood the whole time. It was good looking blood, but it was really light. And then that arrow came out.
Oh, yeah.
Everything changed.
Pulled the plug.
Yeah, there was blood all over the place. Like it got pretty crazy pretty fast. And it was getting dark. Tensions were really high because we were all like frustrated that we couldn't find this elk. And it was like getting too dark. So me and my dad were actually like, we weren't arguing yet, but we were well on our way. You know, like, yeah, we're very set in our ways, and we're both very good hunters, and you know, we both have our own ideas. And he's holding my daughter, and I'm like, look, I gotta go. So I was walking up to grab my daughter and basically leave. Like we were done, or I was done. I had to get her home. It was already way past bedtime, and I go up to grab my daughter, like the 20 yards, and I turn around to talk to my brother to kind of give him some advice. And as I do that, I catch just a little piece of tan through the brush.
Oh, man.
And I, like, everything, like, time stood still for a second. I grab my binos, throw them up, and there he is. He's laying there in the brush. And
dead?
He was dead as a doornail.
Yeah.
But we were at, like, a standstill because every trail that he was trying to go down just ran out. Right? Yeah. Like he didn't go up this way. And we're in a creek bottom. This trail that went along
he went down to the creek
just like ended there. It just went into a pile of brush, but he was in that pile of brush. He literally fell over in it.
Yep.
So,
man.
And just turn around, and it was like,
they know when they're dying, and they just want to bury themselves.
Yeah. They know they're in danger. So they're going to go to the dumbest spot they can imagine. But when I turned around and like threw my hands up, I could just see like my brother's face just lit up. Like he went from like you could see the switch from like devastation to just absolutely elated, excited. I didn't even have to say anything, but of course I was like, "There's an elk right there," and he freaked out. We all freaked out, and like all that tension, all that irritation, and
turns to victory.
You know, it was just like the most amazing win. And then I get all these cool pictures, and my daughter's there, and I get to actually like share this harvest with her, even though I didn't even kill it. It was just like, it was such a powerful moment. You know, like my family was there. I wish my wife could have been there, but she was at home. And just being able to like share that with my daughter. And I've been able to do that now with my bull last year. It wasn't quite as strung out, right? Like my bull went 30 yards and she wasn't there for the track job, like, or anything like that. But being able to share those harvests with her has been my favorite thing. That's cool. Ever since, you know. She's been in on 2 elk now. She's 3 going on 4. So most people can't say that in their 30s.
That's
you know? So
half of her life on elk.
2 more than I have ever done. So.
It's been great, man. Like she's a trooper too. And it was funny, that first elk, she was definitely afraid. Like she would go up and touch it, but she was very, very cautious. She was very scared, but I was able to like talk her through it. Second one was not like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was all about it. She was talking to the elk and everything. And like, now, you know, she was able to talk a little bit better. So I was able to explain to her, you know, this is the animal that we're going to eat for the rest of the year. And he fueled us, you know, this animal did die, you know, and she's 3, so she doesn't necessarily understand everything I'm saying, but she understands enough to know, like, I'm sure she can feel the atmosphere that's around her and how much this really means. You know, it is a heavy moment. And not just like an excitement moment. It's a heavy moment. It's great to be able to share that stuff with them, man.
Yeah, it's what it's all about. I mentioned earlier how Blackhorn Outdoors, your social media presence and whatnot, really is revolving around shed hunting a lot of the time.
Yeah.
We know we all live seasonally, so whatever season it is, that's what we're doing. But
it's always our favorite season too.
Oh, absolutely.
whatever is happening right now is my favorite season. Yep.
Absolutely.
But shed hunting is a big part of what you do. I'm just curious, like, why? What got you started? What's interesting to you about it?
So when I was a kid, the way that it started was, I had always heard people talk about, and I knew that elk and deer lost their antlers every year, and I knew there was guys that would go look for them and stuff. And then, I just caught the bug and wanted to start looking, and it was a way for me to go out in the woods. I just wanted to spend more time in the woods. I used to coyote hunt a lot, and that was fun, but I sucked at it. So, and not that I was a good shed hunter when I started, but it was kind of like, look, you walk far enough, you're going to find one. Like and you can learn so much. And that was probably what really sparked it that first year, was just how much I started to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But so that was basically what started it. And then from there, man, it's just, it's grown and grown and grown. And now that's like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Like, I love hunting, but shed hunting, man, there's just so much less pressure, and it's just something that you can do to stay in shape, and you're going to keep learning the whole time. And it almost feels like now it's part of my preparation for hunting season. Like,
it's like the scouting.
It and learning, and I love it.
So like by less pressure, do you mean less people, or like is it the pressure on yourself? Like, it's not a tag to fill.
Yeah, the pressure on yourself for sure. Because like hunting season, there's a ticking clock, man. No matter what. Even before hunting season, there's a ticking clock. Am I going to be ready? Am I going to be able to be my best self by the time that it comes up? Mm-hmm. But shed hunting, it's like, dude, I don't care how I feel. I don't care. Like, maybe I'm a little bit laxed on my training or my meals or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, I'm going to see it in the woods, but those antlers aren't going to run away from me. So as long as I make it, I make it. That's it. Yeah.
And that's the fun part about doing it with like a buddy or something too, is you guys can talk.
Yeah.
Unless you're really trying to, let's see if we'll be quiet, we'll sneak up on something. Like that's a little different. But if you're just, I'm going to go look right at that foothill, or, whatever you're doing.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I usually shed hunt alone. And I mean, this year I shed hunted with people more than, I'm not kidding, every other year combined. Like, I would go with my dad or my best friend, Gabe, or I have one other buddy that I shed hunt with a lot. And then this year I took some guys out. I reconnected with an old friend that we used to shed hunt together back in the day. And we were able to get out and have some good trips. And then I was also able to go with my best friend. Like, it seemed like every time I went this year, I was going with someone. And it was like a good change of pace. And it wasn't necessarily something that I thought about. It was just, this guy wants to go. I think he'd be cool to hang out with. Let's go do it. Let's go find some horns.
Yeah, so these are people you don't even really know that well.
One of them I didn't know that well. The other ones, I knew them pretty well.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, the one guy, it was funny. So we were in some meadows looking for blacktail sheds. And up in this high country, big dark timber, beautiful country. I love it up there. But he lives on the coast, so this is completely different terrain for him. And I remember we're up there, we're glassing this meadow. He's like, have you ever glassed up a shed? I'm like, a blacktail shed? I'm like, yeah, I usually glass up one or two every year, like it's tough, but like I do it. And so, that's why I keep doing it. He's like, man, I've never glassed one up. I would love to. We went around this bench and I told him, I was like, we're kind of staying away from the good stuff for a minute. Like we're going to hit all the surrounding area and then we're going to go into the good stuff.
Okay.
And as soon as we got down there, I'm like, yeah, man, it's here. Like there's a big brown here somewhere. There's all these rubs, big tracks, beds everywhere. Like all the sign that I'm looking for is there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we found him. Now we got to dial it in and figure out where this antler is. And he actually went up and we took a little bit of a break on this ridge because I could not find this antler that I knew was there, and I just couldn't find it. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do or what we should do, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna go back down and just keep gridding this bench. I know it's there. He's like, all right, I think I'm just gonna stand right here for a minute. Okay. So I literally get down to the bench and I'm just starting to go in and start gridding it, And he starts screaming, I got a big brown. I got a big brown 4-point.
Oh, nice. Wow. 4-point.
So I go sprinting back up the hill, and I was like, where? He's like, and he's looking down the ridge, probably 150 yards down below in this flat that I've never found a shed in. I've been in this spot, I don't even know how many times. And
wow.
I've never found a shed down there.
Yeah.
I've gone in there, it never looked that good, but he threw his binos up and he started glassing, and he picked out a big old brown 4-point. And
that's
it
cool.
Was so cool. His name is Jeb, and I'm sure he's going to listen to this. So
nice.
Shout out, Jeb. That was pretty cool.
All
man.
right. Good looking, Jeb. Yeah. Why do you think shed hunting's getting more popular?
Probably everything that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
I mean, you can learn so much, and it's a lot of fun. And not to mention, like, it's, like you said, it's grown in popularity. It's all over YouTube. It's all over the social medias. Everybody wants to do it. And I don't blame them, man. It's fun. It's a great way to use your time and learn about the woods and better woodsmanship. You're going to learn more about these animals, and it's a fun thing to do, walking up on a big brown, you know?
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Even a big white, it doesn't matter. Just an antler.
Do you get
cool.
kind of that, like, that moment of like a heart skip when you see one?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, that definitely happens when you're like hunting. You know, you're like, oh, okay, but then you get that with the sheds.
It's definitely different.
Like,
I'm probably a little bit desensitized to it.
Sure.
Because I mean, like, I don't mean to brag, but I found a lot. But I will say there is a moment too when you hit. Like, when you see that shed, it's like, yes, you know, like, you're excited. And then, like, I really dial in, okay, what am I looking at? And then that is when I get either really excited or like, oh, cool, heck yeah, you know, that's pretty cool. But when it's big and I can tell, then I get really excited.
Yeah.
One thing I've kind of noticed is it's a social endeavor, it seems to be. It's cool to see that you're taking a bunch of guys out, friends, non-friends, like that. That's really cool.
Yep.
Bryant does the same thing. I'm going to hopefully start it here soon with just taking people out hunting, and the connections you can grow from those moments that you're talking about, lifelong, potentially.
Yeah, I'm a little, like, shed hunting too. So I actually, one person I left out, and she's going to be mad about this. My wife, I brought her out on a couple shed hunts this year. We went over to Central Oregon looking for mule deer sheds, and she found her first ever shed.
Cool.
And it was like an awesome experience, you know, like she didn't care that much. Like, she definitely was excited, but not like me, man. I was I was elated that she had found a brown, and it was a nice big 3-point brown, goofy looking deer, but I was really excited. But yeah, hunting's different for me. I'm really intense. And I don't even necessarily mean to be, but like, I was able to help my wife get her first turkey this year. It was her first harvest of all time. And I remember when she shot this turkey, I freaked out, and I'm, yes. And she looks at me and she goes, calm down.
No way.
What?
Oh, come on.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I guess that makes us one of us, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. We get, trust me, dude, you're talking to a couple guys who get it with the hype when that bullet flies or that arrow flies, man, there is some celebration.
Yes.
That happens right there in the moment.
I'm glad we're out in the woods.
Like, when I watch some people's videos of them killing something, and they're just like deadpan afterward, like, that was a good shot, got him right. I'm like, I can't even, dude. That moment is so intense for me. Like,
oh, dude.
And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'm excited, but I'm still like, elk season, I am in kill mode. Like, that is just, I don't get excited until that animal's on the ground. Then I freak out. But until that moment, man, I'm very intense.
Well, what about when you hear the far off bugle? Because for me, that's an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I definitely get a hit of that on a bugle. Like, I had a bull this year. I called at him from every different angle, and he wouldn't answer. And then I was pretty much done. I'm like, all right, I'm going to walk down this ridge and eat my lunch, and I'll call while I'm eating. And, you know, it's noon, 1 o'clock, and I walked down, and I called for probably 30, 40 minutes while I was sitting there, and the bull wasn't answering. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess it's time to go. I'll let out a big bugle. And I just screamed, and this bull lit up. Like, I don't know, 100 yards down below me.
Man,
But he was in such thick stuff that you couldn't see, and I was like, are you serious? I've been calling at you this whole time. But yeah, I definitely got a little bit of like, wow, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I got excited on that one.
Yeah, that's fun. Do you keep all the sheds you find? There's no
sell,
way, right?
I mean, I would love to be able to keep all of them.
Okay.
Like, I have yet to sell a single antler that I thought I actually sold it for what it was worth, because they're
really?
just, and it's not that anybody's giving me a bad deal. It's that I worked so hard for this antler. That antler is one of one. It will never, like, that animal can drop his antler the next year and it will not be the antler I found, you know? And so, like, to me, I've yet to sell anything that's worth it in my mind that way.
Sure.
But I try to like leverage it, because every time I sell antlers, I'm selling it for something important, you know? Like I sold some antler and bought a truck, and then I sold some antler and I just bought my bow, you know?
Oh man, yeah.
So I don't sell a lot, like, but when I do, I usually sell a pretty good amount.
Who's buying them? Is it people making dog treats out of them, or is it more art stuff?
No, usually it's art stuff. Like I just, the one the batch that I just sold was to a guy down in Southern Oregon, and he makes chandeliers and,
I've seen
stuff
those.
like
those
that.
are cool.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to have one of those hanging around over the dining room table or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've thought about getting into making lamps and stuff like that. I've got a buddy who does it.
I wonder if your money would go further that way.
Probably. Yeah. I would be willing to bet it would. But it's just one of those things that, like,
Time.
I also hate messing up my antlers, you know?
Oh yeah,
so, like,
drilling them and
and if I screw in, you know, if I make a decent lamp and I mess up a couple deer sheds in the process, but it looks bad and I don't like the way it looks, now I'm really gonna regret it. So like, it's just a matter of like diving in on that, but
the risk too.
And I definitely have a big keeper pile that frankly is probably bigger than most people
I
would.
mean, it probably has like all your firsts and all your family's firsts and all your like your cool unique sheds and your big sheds.
Or like consistent years off certain animals.
Oh
I've
yeah,
got
watching
that,
them
like,
grow.
Like ironically, my biggest set of Roosevelt sheds, I've got 3 out of 4 years off of that bull, and then he's ghosted me. I have no idea where he went.
Wow.
But I don't think he died, but
I was
he might
think
have.
he's dead, but
he might have. It's hard to say though, because in this area they're in and out so much, and they'll just vanish, and then all of a sudden 3 years later I'll see a picture of someone standing behind the bull, you know? Like that has happened to me before.
Wow.
So in this exact area, like I had 2 sheds off of a different big 6-point, and then I thought he was dead. He just up and vanished one year. I was never able to find him again, and then I think it was 2 or 3 years later, a guy I knew sent me a picture of this bull, and he's standing behind it.
Wow.
I knew exactly what bull it was. I'm like, wow, he was still alive. Okay. Cool.
Dude, that's something, because I can't really even name any animals that I'd be like, oh, I know. Okay, maybe I do know a bull, you know?
Yeah.
And that's about it. As far as like, oh, I know that, you know, so that's a very intriguing part of the shed hunting thing, that you're learning who these animals are.
Absolutely. I mean, it takes everything just to that next level where everything is now intertwined. Like I'll find a raghorn and be like, I wonder what he's going to look like in a couple years. And then maybe I'll pick him up the next year. I might not even recognize him that year.
Yeah.
Like the bull I'm talking about that I have 3 years off of, I found him as like a 2-foot long 5-point, but he had a droopy brow. And then I found him the next year in a slightly different spot, same area, but different spot. And he didn't have the same droopy brow. It did drop down, but it would curl back up. So I didn't recognize it.
Yeah.
And then the next year I didn't find him. That was the year that I'm missing off of him. And then the following year I found his like the big set. He's a big 5x6.
Wow.
I called him Lefty because his 6-point side outscores his right side by so much.
Man, he must have an injury on one side or something.
I don't even think it's that, because his right side's strong. It's just like the tine length is so much different.
Weird.
Like, yeah, he's got like the same beams.
I've seen a lot of goofy elk though that even more than deer.
Yeah.
Where they're just totally lopsided.
It's so weird, but yeah. So I went home and I knew, I was like, man, I'm pretty sure I have a shed off this bull.
Yeah.
And so I picked up that one little bitty 5. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely him. And then I was like, I wonder if I got another one off of him.
Yeah.
So I just started digging through the pile more, and I'm like, oh my goodness, there he is again. That's him. Like, absolutely, without a doubt. You can match the bases up and everything. You can see the progression. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And then, like, the dream is that I pick up, a handful of years off of a bull, and then I'm able to actually execute and kill him.
That's the dream for sure. Yeah. And get trail camera pictures in the meantime.
Oh yeah.
That's the dream for sure.
Honestly, trail cam pictures of these bulls is not that hard. Like, that's the easy part. Finding those sheds though, man, that's tough. And then killing him obviously is the pinnacle. Yep. That's like the hardest thing to do.
Have you ever done that with a blacktail? You found like multiple year sheds and then able to harvest them?
Yeah, kinda. So my brother, he killed a pretty nice 4-point that I had sheds off of. We killed a nice fork and horn, like a big 2-point years ago.
Big old Pacific fork.
Yeah, and we had pictures of him that strained back for like 4 or 5 years, I want to say. Like, we watched him, he was a big 3-point, and then like he was like a 3x4, and then he dropped back down to a 3-point, and then the year that we ended up getting him killed, he was just a giant fork and horn, and he was just big and mean.
Yeah, old buck. Did he have that big old nose on him?
He had a big Roman nose. His eye, he was blind in one eye. It was like poked out. And then under his chin right here, I guess you can't see it, but under his chin, he had like a gouge mark that was really infected. Like, he just, you walked up to him and it's like, oh my,
fresh.
What is, I mean, from that year fighting, but it was so infected. Like, we actually had to throw away some neck meat off of him. So bad.
Wow. That makes me wonder, because I shot the infected buck this year. Did his organs have like a black kind of webby stuff over them?
Not that I recall. I don't think so.
Because that's the one thing I've been trying to figure out. Because my meat has to be safe to eat. Like, it doesn't smell bad when I cook it, and it tastes completely normal, but I just can't get over the visuals I saw when I was cutting that thing, and there was just black stuff all over the inside of him, and his liver was... Anyway, that's a different story, but I wanted to ask you when you said you got an infected buck, because I haven't been able to find anyone who can really give me a straight answer who's done it before.
Well, one thing I would like think about in your instance, and obviously I don't know because I didn't see that deer, but you think about it, when you get an infection, when a human gets an infection and it spreads through the bloodstream. Yeah. So theoretically, when you kill an animal, you're emptying all the blood out of them. So you probably emptied most of that infection out of him. When you harvested him and then cooking it off. It should be fine. That's the way I think about it.
That's how I've been thinking. I still don't know if I'll feed it to my kids, but you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
When we butchered it, the meat looked better than my deer.
I went back and forth so many times, and even over the last few months, or more than a few months now since I've killed him, I've gone back and forth a lot on what I'm doing with them. But anyway, most of them still in my freezer. What's your, we're talking about all these cool sets you found. What's like your proudest set? Or even just your proudest antler, but.
Probably, my proudest set that I've been a part of, not that I even found, was probably the set that my best friend found this year. It was a giant set off of a bull that I actually have a shed off of. Which is insane because it was a big trip in an area that like was pretty much new to us. Like, we had never touched this set of canyons.
Like, you left the coast.
Yeah, we were way over there. We found a moose shed. So that'll kind of like give you an idea of where we were. But so he found this set, and it's like a 360 set, and like man, it's just huge, and the effort that it took to even get there was insane. The effort it took for us to get out of there was insane, and the fact that it was another year off of what is actually my biggest shed, like score-wise. He's like a 340 bull when I picked him up, 335, something like that. And then for my best friend to pick up his biggest set, and it just happens to be the same bull by some miracle.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it's just insane.
And he survived all that time, too, is the other thing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
that was like 3 years ago that I found my side. And then
he's just living up there.
Yeah. I mean, in the nastiest country you can imagine. Like,
man, yeah.
Cliffs and just gnarly stuff.
If you ever drew out there, would you hunt it? Or is it too crazy?
Nothing's too crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll hunt anywhere. Like, you're going to have to dig me out of that canyon maybe, but I'm going to go back there.
That's awesome.
I'll never draw that unit.
No.
I don't put in enough points towards it, you know? Like, you'd have to save up those points, and I'd rather have more opportunity than...
That's kind of where a lot of us are at as young guys.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you had a parent who has been putting in for you since you were... What's the minimum age you can even do that? 12?
Yeah.
Then and then you're gonna be lucky to go in your 40s.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like for us, we're not the generation that gets to do that. You know,
especially when like there's other hunts that take way less points if you're willing to go to another state, and it's just as good. Like I've heard from many people that like our big three here in Oregon, does not stack up to your average 7-point draw in Wyoming or Utah or
wow,
Arizona,
that's
like
crazy.
New Mexico is crazy.
I've heard that.
I've heard New Mexico is nuts.
And it doesn't take that much to draw. I've been watching, have you guys heard of Elk Shape? You know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you watch like a lot of his stuff, he walks you through how to like draw these good tags and everything. And you watch his hunts, like he goes on these crazy hunts and he's in giant rut fests every year,
man,
and he just has it down pat.
It's hard to imagine, like when you say New Mexico, I'm immediately thinking desert, and man, that'd be I feel like it'd be a learning curve.
Oh yeah, everything is, but that's the fun of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's cool. So what's the furthest you've traveled for sheds?
Wyoming.
Yeah,
we went to Wyoming. So
was that in scouting for a hunt you wanted to do, or just you just shed hunting?
No, we actually went over there for the Jackson Hole shed run. That was...
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it was the last year that they allowed non-residents to participate at the same time as residents. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, it's either a week or 2 weeks pushback, but their shed opener is May 1st. And I think now non-residents can't go until like the 8th or something like that.
And I think a lot of people listening might, especially from Oregon, might not even have a context to a shed opener. And that's because sheds drop in these wintering areas. And if you have 100 guys or more going in there throughout the shed season, bumping the elk, pushing them off the feed, it could even cause the cows to lose their pregnancies and stuff from the stress. And so they say no shed hunting for these times until the elk are mostly done in there. Then they open it. Yeah. And that's when the floodgates open and there's like 1,000 guys going in there. Yeah. I don't even know how many, but a lot.
Well, and like another thing to think about too, it's not just the wintering areas, it's statewide. Like the entire state of Wyoming is closed to shed hunting until May 1st.
Oh, and I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It's not just like Oregon has certain wintering areas that are closed until a certain date, but the rest of the state is open.
But they're close to everything, right?
Yes, exactly. You're not supposed to go in there, which also I will say they don't enforce that very well because I went in on a shed opener. The first time I ever went over east, I went to this wintering ground that I had found and I was super excited about, and I went in there and all I found was boot tracks. There was boot tracks all over.
Oh,
and I was there the day of the opener. I was like the first one out of the truck. There was no one else there.
Yeah.
And there was boot tracks all over the place already.
Picked out.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Wyoming was really cool. I got to do that shed run with a bunch of different guys that I was friends with, and we made a big trip, and it was great, man. It was quite cool. The experience. Yeah.
That's cool. Do you know anyone who uses dogs?
For sheds?
Yeah.
No, not
I've
really.
heard of shed dogs. Yeah, I don't know anyone personally.
I like follow some guys on Instagram and stuff that use dogs, and they're pretty successful. There's a couple guys here in Oregon that do it, and then I've got a buddy up in Washington who's been trying to train his dogs to do it. I don't know how well that's going. he finds the biggest blacktail sheds I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think he uses his dog at all. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who does? That's pretty well known as Scott Hogan.
Yep.
He has 2 dogs they're actually his bird dogs, and he trained them for finding sheds. So Gage just got a new pup that he's going to be training up into a bird dog. Yep. So maybe you ought to give him some of that shed smell.
I know. Yeah. We're sitting here talking about it. Yeah.
Well, if you want to buy some, I know a guy.
Yeah, for training. Yeah. I'm surprised it's not more of a thing, though, to use dogs. I mean, seems like a great tool, but I don't know.
It is a great tool, but it's also a one of those things that takes a lot of commitment.
A lot of training.
I had a dog who I kind of didn't even think about it because, frankly, I rarely let her do it with me. But when she was a pup, I trained her to find sheds, or I tried to anyway.
Sure. And
she, in her lifetime of hiking with me, which up until she was about 5 was most hikes that I went on, she was with me. She found 2 sheds for me in her entire life.
Wow.
And she found them both the same day. So, and then she never found another one. But I will say one of the sheds that she found is the most unique blacktail shed I've ever found.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's this crazy looking fork and horn that's like a curly Q look to him. Yeah, he spirals off the end.
On the mane?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then like the tine where it would be a fork is just leaned way forward. And he like curls all weird, and then it's
that's
a crazy looking
antler. Nutrient thing or something. Like
I think it's his genetics because
really.
Ironically, I found another year off of him, and he did the same thing. Yeah. It's crazy.
Opener.
I wonder. Hey, if you're listening to this and you have that buck, let us know.
Yeah. Send us some pictures.
Yeah. I don't know. He might still be alive, but he wasn't very big. So
yeah. So my question on that is, did your dog ever find one that you would not have found?
Yeah. Okay. That curly Q one that I was just talking about.
Yeah.
I would not have found that shed. It was laying in a fern, and she literally walked up to it and was sitting there sniffing it. And I knew, like, she didn't bring me sheds. Like, she would find them, and she might even pick them up, but she never would bring them to me. She didn't even really have that much interest. She just knew that she was trained
so
at
she
one
didn't even
point
want to chew them.
No.
She just,
Nope. Okay. Like, she would chew on them at home if I gave her one.
Yeah.
But out in the woods, she didn't care that much.
Uh-huh.
She was just my buddy to hike around with, honestly.
Yeah.
She found that shed, and she's sitting there sniffing it, and then she just kind of looked back at me, and I was like, what do you got? And so I went walking up there, and I looked down, and I was like, you found one! Like, you actually did it! And I got all excited.
That's
for her
awesome.
and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you want to reward that behavior. Like, come on, dog, let's do it. That's what we want.
Exactly. And she just kind of looked up and be like, oh, cool. Yeah. It was kind of like when my wife shot that turkey.
Got
Calm
any
down.
treats? Like, give you some jerky or something. Like, come on, dog. Good job.
Yeah, she did great, though.
That's good. So, dude, one of the coolest things I've seen from you is the moose shed.
Yeah.
Like, in the snow.
Yep.
And that's just cool.
Yeah, that was on...
And in Oregon.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's just
northeastern Oregon.
I don't know.
No concept of that.
Yeah. That's cool.
Some of the guys so we actually ran into some guys up there, and they were telling us that they've been up there for many, many, many years, and they've never found one. They were locals.
Yeah.
And, or maybe they had found one, but it was super, super rare.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we found that really big mule deer shed too, and he's like, I've never seen a mule deer up here like this.
Really?
And then we had this 360 set, and he's like, dude, there's been guys driving around looking for that set for months,
that set it was from just, that bull.
Yeah.
One of those people. Yeah. I've there's bulls that are big enough that they're known, and so, like, I'm not sure if that bull is one of them, but there are bulls that, like, when you win the governor's tag or something, they're called game spotters.
Yeah. And
they get a commission for telling your guide where that bull is.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's that story or not, but that's a thing that people do, and you get good commissions for it. Yeah,
I don't know. And so that moose shed, the story goes, we were hiking in. Originally, we thought that the hike in was going to be about 9 miles to our base camp, right? Mm-hmm. Which is crazy. And we're gaining elevation the whole time.
Yeah.
Didn't know what it was going to look like when we got up there, but we were all for it. We were going to go. So we ended up getting there It was 12 miles by the time we were done. But so we walk up, and once we hit the very top, like the top of where we wanted to be, it was snow. Now, luckily the snow was packed down pretty good, so we were able to hike through it. But we're walking across this big bench, looking out to like these open faces. I say bench, it's pretty much a road. It's like the end of this old cat road. But anyway, we're walking across it, and out of my peripheral, I can see whatever this thing is poking up. But there's little pieces of brown grass poking up all over the place. I literally didn't even look at it. I remember seeing it in my peripheral, and I didn't look at it. It was only sticking up, I'm not kidding, maybe a half inch.
Wow.
Like, it was more of like, you could kind of see some color of the snow was brown.
Yeah.
Right? Well, my buddy, he just happened to be walking exactly on the line to it.
Uh-huh.
And then he like gets my attention. He's like, dude, you missed it.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang it. Yeah, I did. Man. Wow. And then I walk back over there, and I'm looking at it. Like, everything's covered in snow except for a tip of one tine and a little bit of the base.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not adding up in my head what it is, because
like
I'm thinking
confused.
elk or deer. That's it. That's all I'm thinking about. And I'm like, this thing is too short to be an elk. But at the same time, the base is huge. Like, that's got to be an elk.
Yeah.
Right? And I even said it in the video. I'm like, it's got to be an elk shed. Like, it has to be.
Yeah.
I don't know what else it could be. And then he grabs it, and he pulls it up,
reveal.
and the snow is packed into the spoon of this moose shed. And you can hear it in the video too. It's so crazy.
Just
I'm like,
the stoke.
I was like, oh, and then it
The stoke.
on me. I'm like, that's a moose paddle. It's a moose paddle. Just lost my mind. And it's even funnier too, because I stopped the video because I'm freaking out way too much.
Yeah.
But he drops this shed and goes on a lap, just running. Just like losing his mind. We're both freaking out.
Yeah.
And then kind of collect ourselves a little bit and realize we had no idea what we had actually done. We had just never found a moose shed. That was crazy.
Yep.
And then come to find out there's maybe 50 moose in this unit, if that.
Man.
Yeah, it's just the way this trip really stacked up was insane. So the first 2 days, I didn't find I found a deer shed. And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting my butt whooped. He had a moose paddle. He had this giant mule deer shed, and then he picks up this 360 plus set.
Yeah.
And
it's the set.
Yeah. And I'm like, and I found the second side for him, actually. It was funny. So we're sitting on this glassing point, and he throws his binos up, and he's like, got one, 100% got one shed. And I'm like, oh, okay, where is it? And he describes it to me, and I look over, I'm like, oh yeah, there it is, time's up. And he's like, time's up. mine's time's down. And then I glass up, and there's this big 6-point glowing in the sun.
And they're just right by each other.
Yeah. And it was crazy because even in my head, I was questioning, I'm like, man, you picked that. It took me a second to really pick out that time's up shed. I'm surprised you were so quick to just be like, oh yeah, got one. But then when I seen the one that he glassed up, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. That's just so cool. I've found a number of antlers over the years, they're out there, but I've yet to find one where I'm able to find the other side next to it. So that's pretty cool.
I will say it definitely happens a lot more over on the east side. Just because you can see more, on the coast, it's tough, man. If they don't drop side by side. I mean, I've got a 6-point that I looked for years. I mean, I'm still kind of looking, but not really. It's been too long.
It's under the leaves.
I searched and searched and searched, and I never found it, man. I gritted like crazy and just never found it.
Yeah. I mean, I started thinking, I don't know, do they even drop them at the same time? I never can make it happen.
They do sometimes, but I swear it's more rare over here.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking for a little while. Loved it so far, but we got a couple more things we want to cover before the end. Okay. So first of all, we always try to talk about tips. So I wanted to get a few shed hunting tips from you. And as we've been talking, obviously there's been quite a few hints and tips already, just a part of the conversation. But one of the main things I wanted to ask about was timing. When do you decide to go and big antlers falling versus the forkies, if that all happens at different times. What's kind of your philosophy on that?
Man, that's a tricky one because it really depends. Like, so coastal bulls, your big bulls are going to shed first like that. And when I say big bulls, I mean your old bulls, the bulls that are, 8, 9 years old. Those bulls are going to be the first to drop, and they might not even make it to March. Like, they might drop in February. I've seen that happen. But then you're like middle of the road bulls that are like 3 to 5, 3 to 6, in that range. They're like, from my experience, they almost hold on longer than like your little rag. I don't know why that is, but I was told at one point that when these elk, deer, doesn't matter, when they get through the rut, that testosterone starts to drop. Okay. And once they basically are too like almost dormant in testosterone, that is when those antlers fall off. Right. And the timing just matches. So it kind of makes sense to me in my mind that these bulls that are the most dominant as far as like having cows and the healthiest and stuff like that, they're going to have that high testosterone level. Yeah. They're going to have higher than that big old bull that's been there, for 10 years now, and he just doesn't quite have it in him like he used to. Yeah. So in my mind, it makes sense that these middle-aged bulls are going to hold on a lot longer because they've got way more testosterone throughout the year than other bulls. Sure. Is this right? I don't really know.
No, it definitely tracks. And, like the research I've done, reading all the different, studies and biologist things they post about deer and stuff. Yep. Because when my antlers popped off of my little buck, it made me wonder, like, what would happen? And it is the testosterone crash causes that joint there on the pedicle to calcify. Yep. And then it falls off. So basically that antler is alive on its head until the testosterone drops, then it calcifies and dies and falls off. Yep. Exactly. And I'm sure you found dead heads before where you could pull with all your strength.
Yeah, it ain't
it's
coming off,
never ever gonna come off because it's still fused together. It's not just like it grew off of a bone and it's like two things glued together. Like it is the same bone.
It is bone
as the head, and
it's crazy too because you can like see the joint, but it's not what you think.
like even if you try to break it, you're gonna break something else. It's not gonna break on that seam.
That's not where it's gonna break.
It's pretty
wild.
End up
breaking the skull.
Yeah. In some instances, yeah. I have found that elk seem to be more predictable about when they're going to drop, though, than deer. Deer, to me, are kind of a mystery when they're going to drop. I don't know I still think the same science is true. I just don't know. It seems like these small forkies and the spikes are going to drop at the same time as these giant old bucks. And, they're going to shed within a 3-week increment. Versus like these bulls, start dropping in late February, and there will be bulls. When we were over in Wyoming, we saw bulls packing in May. Yeah. So it just is.
And that's late. That's crazy.
That's crazy late.
That's like the antler should be growing back in under it already.
Exactly. Like we saw 6 points that were in full, velvet at that point. But man, it's just like.
That's almost like a cactus buck situation. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. Wow. Crazy. So another tip question I'd like to ask is, what are some of your terrain features you look for? Little hot spots.
So easiest way to say it is for blacktail, I look for big old growth timber that's kind of sparse on the forest floor. Meadows are great. Deer love meadows. I don't usually find the sheds in the meadows, of course, because that would be too easy. But the big timber around it is always a hot spot, especially if you can find those spots where it benches out. Because, you're way up. It's going to be steep. It's going to be gnarly. But there's going to be flat spots. And if you can find those flat spots, usually that's where they're going to be. And then Roosevelt's, elk, I guess, in general. But Roosevelt's definitely, they really, really like that green grass. So on the coast, the marshes are the ticket. They are always in around those marshes, like in the cuts next to the marshes. There's just more water there, so there's more green grass.
Yeah.
That's the way that I think about it, and it usually works.
Yeah.
But they really like those marshes, man, especially the big old bulls. They're going to dive into the nastiest swamp you can imagine, and they're going to live there.
Yeah.
And then over on the east side, it's pretty simple. Find some big gnarly canyon that's hard to get to and look for the green grass on the open hillsides, and there's usually a shed near it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes me wonder, do the antlers drop randomly as they're living their life? Just look for where the deer live and you'll find sheds, or do they like go to shed dropping places in the winter?
Yeah, I don't think it's like they go to shed dropping places, because like I'll find them like this last year when I went up there with that buddy of mine, Jeb, and he found that big 4-point. That spot where he found that shed, I was in there the year before, and it was a dead zone. They just weren't there.
Yeah.
Like they were further around the hill, and I found a couple nice buck sheds around the hill from that, but that spot where I took him, they were not there. And so we actually started where the deer weren't, basically just trying to feel them out. Where are they on this hillside this year? And we started on the spot where they weren't, and we worked all the way around, and then we found them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it changes year to year, just depending on their mood or something. I don't know.
Sure.
But I don't think they're going to like, okay, I shed right here on this bench last year, I'm going to go shed in the same bench.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like that.
Uh-huh.
But
do you think, because the way my brain thinks about it is they'll drop them where they're going to spend the most amount of time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
bedding areas.
Yep.
I've also heard that, actually Bryant taught me this, is over little creeks, because when they jump, if they're loose, pop right off.
Yep, fence crossings, stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Jarring them.
But it's...
I don't know if I taught you that, but I might have said it as a theory. It seems like when they would jump and hit the ground, shake them off.
And when you like train your mind to think about that type of stuff and think about things in that way, it goes a long way. Like you're going to take if you're looking at 2 trails going between 2 bedding areas and you're looking for sheds, you're going to look at the one that has the most amount of sign. You're going to follow that one. And, you get into that zone, because like you never know where they're going to actually drop. Like you can go through, I went through 15 beds when I was with Jeb, and he found that brown way down in the bottom. Right.
Yeah.
And there was no shed there. There was rubs all over the place. I've never found a shed under a rub from the deer that made that rub.
Wow.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of where they are when it falls off,
Yeah.
So you want to spend your time where they're spending their most amount.
Because I think one of the misnomers that might be true or might not be true is that they like rub their antlers off. Because for the most part, their antlers just pop off when they pop off. It's not like they're trying to hit them off or something.
I will say I've seen this a lot with bulls. I call it itchy, right? So the way I think about it is like when a kid has a loose tooth, they're going to sit there and play with it and play with it and play with it until it comes off or comes out, excuse me. And so like I've seen bulls, they do what you call the shed dance, and they're just like, they're tilting their head just a certain way, and they're kind of running, and you can see them like trying to do something. I don't think they're literally trying to knock it off, but I think it's literally itchy. Yeah. So they're just like messing with it, trying to get it to fall off.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like a scab. When you were a kid, you're like, gosh,
can't help but
so
pick
itchy.
at it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I've got some videos of bulls too that I thought were gonna drop, and so I was videoing them and doing all this crazy stuff, and it just didn't.
Just wasn't the day.
It's a funny dance they do. I've seen videos. Yeah. Have you ever gotten video on trail camera or sitting there watching them with them actually popping it off?
Nope. That's one of my like bucket list items. I had a bull a couple years ago so it was 4 bulls. All of them were 5 points. 3 of them were really big 5 points. And I seen them in this field. I went up above in the public, and one of them had dropped. So like, all right, I'm going to go grid this out real quick, see if he's up there. Well, they ended up being there. Like they I don't know how they beat me there, because I was there in 20 minutes and they had moved like half a mile. But anyway, so I drop down in, see these bulls, they run off the hill. I hear this bull's antler fall off his head. I heard a loud thong, and I was like,
oh man,
whoa. It sounded like an antler.
Oh man.
And so I luckily I
So
went.
he probably knocked it off on something.
I think what happened was because they knew I was there and they just kind of trotted off, and I didn't want to pursue them, because that's the right thing to do. So I backed out, went and made a big loop around up top looking again, and then I just dropped back down and followed his tracks, and sure enough, like it was like 50 yards, like if that. It was so close, and I just didn't see it.
It's all pink on the bottom. And,
dude, it was
fresh,
so bloody, and
it was like really bloody.
Everything. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, he had like this, like almost like gelatin type stuff on it. It was.
How did it taste?
It was like a little salty, a little irony,
Wow, and it made like a noise. Like
I think what happened, there was a tree that was kind of leaning at like a 30-degree angle, and I think he went to duck under it, and he just clipped it, and it knocked it off. Like there was no broken bone or anything on it. It was ready to fall off. It just that last little push, sent it off. Yeah,
Crazy.
Yep.
String to your tooth and your
Yep.
Yeah.
That little.
Yep. It was ready. You just needed a little bit of push. Yeah.
That's good. Man, well, thank you so much so far for the conversation. It's been really great. Enjoyed talking with you. We always end the show with what we call the real talk. And the question we always ask our guests is, what's your spiritual connection to your life in the outdoors? I'd like to hear what you have to say about that.
So we kind of talked about this beforehand, but I was raised Christian by my godmother, you'd call her, but I mean, it wasn't strict by any means. I never gave myself over to Christ or anything like that. But I am a very spiritual person. I definitely believe there is something out there, and I just have not hammered down exactly what I believe yet. But I do have a story that I would like to share from a recent shed hunt that I had where we found the moose paddle and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a pretty powerful moment for me, and it's definitely made me think about things a little differently. So the last day that we were there, it was Saturday. Originally we planned on hiking out Sunday and then driving home. I ended up glassing up a bunch of sheds down in this nasty bottom. And it would, in my mind, be easier to hike out to the truck than hike all the way back up to our camp, break down, and leave. So me and Gabe split up. He was bombing straight down to the truck, and I was going down to pick up all my sheds, and then I was going to meet him there eventually whenever I got out. I didn't think it was going to be as late as it was, but so end up going down and bit off a lot more than I could chew. I ended up finding 12 antlers on that hike, all elk antlers. I had to leave 5. By the time that I had picked up all my antlers and I was at the same level, well, I didn't pick up all of them. I found more on the way out, but by the time I was on the level of where our camp was, which was 12 miles deep on the top, and I'm now on the bottom trying to loop my way around the bottom, which is going to be longer, I was already at 8 miles. So I was looking at it like minimally 12 or a 20-mile hike out in the dark for the most part. So
it's almost not physically possible.
It was too much. Like I bit off a lot more than I could chew. But so I basically, long story short, after I found more sheds along the way, I stashed those sheds. I got some hate over this, but I had to stash my camp because I just couldn't carry it. So I was like, bare minimum essentials, browns are coming out, nothing else.
Yeah.
And so I left my camp and those sheds in a certain spot, which I do plan on going and getting anyway. So hiking out and trying to find this trailhead that is just not existent. It says it's on the map. It's not there. I cannot find it. And my phone is at 2% or 4%. It was basically dead.
Yeah.
I didn't even have my tracker on at this point. And it's getting dark, and I'm in really cliffy, nasty canyon that I am having a lot of trouble navigating. My pack was like 70 pounds.
Wow.
So I got to a point, there's this ridge. The way these ridges roll over, they go into the steep little creek runoffs, and then they'll go right back up the other side.
Yep.
Some of these really steep creek runoffs, they get cliffy, right? And there's like, you have to be careful on how you get through them. So at this point, I've dropped down to the creek and come back up and dropped down and come back up. And I'm spent. I'm so exhausted because I cannot find a good path through. And I'm like 14 miles in and I got so far left to go. And it's like right on the break of dark. And so I took my pack off. I walked down to this creek bottom, like scaling along this cliff. And I'm like, if the trailhead is right here, which it's supposed to be, or it should have been, I should have been on it the whole time, but it's not here. But if it happens to be right here, I'll keep going. But if not, I got to stop.
Yeah.
So I walk down this creek bottom and it's a brushy, nasty mess and there's nothing there. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I go back to my pack and I sit down and I like kind of try to like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're staying here for the night.
Yeah.
Can't risk trying to get through another cliff like this. Like you can make it through this one, but I don't know what the next one's going to look like. I don't know if I can make that. I can't risk that.
Yeah.
So I sit down and then my anxiety kicks in and I'm feeling sick to my stomach and I'm just like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like this is the stories that you hear about when people don't make it off the mountain. Like,
yeah,
I'm really, really deep. Like, yeah, they know where I am, but it's going to get cold tonight. I don't have my camping gear. I don't know what to do. My phone's almost dead. So, and then I kind of had like this moment where I remember what my dad said to me when I was a little kid. I used to go out and stuff and he was like, if you ever get lost, just sit down. Like, it does not matter where you think you are. If you're lost, sit down. We'll come find you. Someone will come find you. If you keep going, you're going to get yourself more lost. And in that moment, I went, I am not lost. I know exactly where I need to go. I just don't think I can make it. And then, so I was like, I don't usually like, I have to like see something or have like one of those spiritual moments to talk to a higher power. But in this moment, like I rarely ask for strength or anything like that. But I was like, man, I really don't need much. I don't need more strength. All I need is the trailhead. Just please, if I just need the trailhead, I just need a little bit, man. Like I don't need much, just a little bit. And I didn't even really know who I was talking to. And, but I was like, I know I can't sit here anymore. Like, A, I feel sick to my stomach. B, I might not make it through the night. Like it's too cold. Like I didn't want to think that way, but I knew that was a possibility.
Yeah.
So I stood up and put my pack back on and I hiked down into that bottom and now it's dark and like completely dark. I do have a flashlight. By the grace of God again, I just happen to have one in my pack and, I pull my flashlight out and I go along this cliff. I get into this creek bottom. And I find just this little tiny path to get through it. And as soon as I do, and I pop out of the trees, out of that creek bottom, the grass there is about up to your knees on those hillsides. And so when you hit it with the light, like it shines, right?
Yeah.
But when I put my light up, there was just this perfect shadow of a path being cast out in front of me that just literally was the trailhead.
Wow.
It was the trailhead that I had been searching for.
Yeah.
And I had just stopped like 60 yards ago because I didn't think I could make it. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no hope. I was done. Right? Like I had nothing left.
Yeah.
And then I almost broke down. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what's going on here, but there's someone watching me right now. Like, I rarely ask for, anything because I don't think, I'm not religious, but I don't think that you should always be asking. You should be appreciative. You know what I mean? Like, I do know there's something out there, but I don't think he wants to just hear when you want strength, if that makes sense. Like, I try to just show appreciation. So the one time that I can remember in recent history where I really asked for something, and it was right there. Like, it was just like bestowed upon me. Here's the path, and it's clear and easy to see. And then from there, like, I'm not gonna say it was smooth sailing because it still sucked. Like my pack was still 70 pounds, and I still had another 10 plus miles to get out.
You didn't get airlifted out.
I had like I had hope.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like, oh my, I made it. Like
Yep.
at this point, I know I'm going to make it out.
Yeah.
Anybody can follow this path. Even if I can't make it, they
Yeah.
can find me. And so, I ended up getting out that night at midnight. I started my hike out at 7:00 that morning to drop down and go get my sheds. And I didn't get back to the truck until midnight.
Wow.
So it was a very powerful experience for me. That
absolutely.
You know, and all my videos and stuff, I can't capture. I did not do a good job of capturing how much that moment and that whole push out really was like, because it was just like, it was a journey. Like, one of those things where like you push your body to the absolute limits, you push your mind to the absolute limits.
Max.
Like,
I
literally gave up and had nothing left, and then asked for one thing, and there it is.
Yeah, you know, so many times like we're in a place where we are at our limit. Like we have nothing left.
Yeah.
You know, that's where God meets us. Like, you know, whether that's for us outdoorsmen, that context is like the woods, you know, like we get out there and we push ourselves further than we probably should sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Further than we can really go.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden we're like, oh Lord, I need you right now. I need to get back home to my family, you know? But even just like sometimes life sucks and we go through just tough things. And, you know, for me, I know that I've been through things in life that I wouldn't be able to go through without God pulling me through it or guiding me, leading me. But, you know, man, super, super cool to hear that story, that experience. And I mean, how many times do we reach out, you know, to God?
Yeah.
And for you to have that experience of you reached out, you know, and suddenly you noticed, oh, he's there.
Yeah, there it is, you know.
And it was a hopeful encounter. It was a positive encounter. It was, you know, like I need you, and he came through on that.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Man, my encouragement for you or for anyone listening is just keep reaching out and keep seeking him. And, you know, cause Jesus is a gentleman, and he's you know, scripture says he stands at the door and knocks, and he doesn't have what are those things the SWAT teams have where they're breaking down the door? He's not trying to get into your life and into your heart with a rammer and breaking the doors open and saying, I'm here.
Yeah.
Love me. You know, it's, he just stands at the door and knocks, and it's up to us to open that door. And, you know, that's in a small part what you did up there is you opened the door. You said, you know, whatever specific way you asked, ultimately it's one of those things where I don't really pray often. I don't talk to you often, Lord, but I need you in this moment. And there he was. So, you know, that's super amazing to hear. Thank you for being transparent too and sharing that experience with us.
Yeah. It was a very powerful moment, and I'm glad I was able to share it with someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, my encouragement for you is to just keep seeking and find out who he is, you know?
Yeah. That's a really cool story. And also I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, you know, a lot of people have not that specific type of a story, but where they're broken and they reach out, and rarely is it a story about actually finding a path. Yeah. Because Jesus talked a lot about the narrow path, right? Yeah. So you literally found the path, right?
Yeah. I do love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I went through a lot of stuff when I was a kid. I don't talk about it a lot, but I went through a lot when I was a kid, and I turned away from God.
Yeah. When
all of that happened, and I went down a really bad path, and, you know, like, and I came back, but I always, like, as I've gotten older, I've gotten more, like, I see the way things worked out and feeling like there is some type of plan being played upon me, because things don't make sense any other way. Like, this happened, so this happened, so this happened, and then all of a sudden I've got a beautiful wife and 2 wonderful kids, and I'm you know, I'm living the life that I only dreamed of, and still getting better. And it's just like, I regret the way that I lived when I was a kid. And I look now, and like, I look more inward and more spiritually and everything like that. So it was pretty crazy though to have a moment like that.
Absolutely.
Kind of like, okay, there's something more going on here. I think you need to look a little closer, you know? Yeah. So I have been looking closer. I'm just not quite there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience.
Love it.
God has a path for all of us. You know, that's been apparent kind of as I get older and mature. There's obviously things that I regret too, kind of like what you're saying. And I think it just all goes to show like it's truly God's path for us. We're the men we are now because of the experiences we've gone through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, from the Christian mindset, it's Christ guiding us through that path.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for sharing. That's a really awesome story.
Yeah. Hey, if anyone listening wants to know more about what you do and keep track of your crazy adventures, where can they find you?
So I've got my Instagram is Blackhorn Outdoors. My YouTube is also Blackhorn Outdoors. I have a Facebook. You want to reach out to me there. I'm not extremely active on that as much, but I am on there too. Same thing, Blackhorn Outdoors. And I'm hoping to get a lot more hunting content out this year. I don't have that many hunting videos, but I'm trying. It's hard.
All right. It is hard.
Yeah.
Hunting is hard. Recording hunting is harder.
Oh, yeah. Significantly. Very much so.
Awesome. Hey, well, thanks, dude, for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Super great conversation. Loved it. You're a great interview. So,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyson. Really appreciate it.
I had a lot of fun, guys.
Great. Well, talk to you later. Thanks for listening.
All right. Bye-bye.
Here we go.
Break.